This video lesson I'm going to go over information about circles. Some of the most important pieces of information regarding circles are the circumference. We have a special formula for that. Also, we'll look at finding the area of a circle. There's another formula that we'll use for that. Then we'll switch over to cylinders, and we have a formula for volume. And then when we tear a cylinder apart, we also have another formula for finding the surface area. So those are the four things that we hope to accomplish in this lesson. So let's get started. First of all, the circle definition for it is the set of all points in a plane that are the same distance from a given point called the center. And I've used that wagon wheel to illustrate that. Note that the wagon wheel has a center, and then it has equal sized spokes that radiate or come off of the center. And if we drew an infinite number of these and then we connected them with a line, we would get the outer shape of our circle. So again, the definition here is it's the set of all points in a plane that are the same distance from a given point called the center. Okay, here we have a nice drawing of our circle, and I'm going to go over a couple things. If you look at this red line here that goes all the way around the outside of the circle, that's what we call the circumference. So the circumference is all this distance going around the outside of the circle. Then we have this term area here. All the blue shading represents the area. So it's the total amount of space inside that circle. And then we have a couple of special definitions that we need to learn. The first one is radius here. And the radius, you can see by that green line, goes from the center. Let me draw that. Goes from the center here, boom, to the outside edge of the circle. Okay, and then the last one is the diameter. And you can see that the diameter goes all the way across the circle through its center. So those are the four special terms that we have. We have area, diameter, radius, and circumference. Up at the top of the page, you'll see that I have the formula for circumference, and we can write that as either c equals pi times the diameter, or if they give us a radius, we would write it as c equals 2 pi times the radius. And then the formula for the area of a circle is the area equals pi r squared. We'll get to, well, I might as well write that down now. The area of a circle, we often use a rounded form of pi, and usually what it asks for, okay, 3.14. Now that isn't exactly what pi is. That's often where we round pi off to the hundredths place. Let me pause my Moving on to the next screen then is just a review for us. One of the special terms that we have for a circle is diameter. And the diameter is the distance across a circle through its center. We can turn a diameter into a radius by dividing that diameter by 2. So for example, if my diameter here were 16 inches, to find the radius, I would take 16 and divide it by 2. Another way of looking at this, if my diameter was 10 inches across a circle, to find the radius, we would divide 10 by 2 to get 5. It's really important that you're able to turn a diameter into a radius and a radius into a diameter. The circumference is proportional to the radius. Now what does that mean? The constant is pi. So every time we take a circumference and divide it by the diameter, every single time we do this math operation here, we're going to get the irrational number that we know as pi. And like I said, 3.14 is not what pi is, but often we round pi to the hundredths place. Let's go on to the next one. The ratio of the circumference of a circle to the diameter is pi. Okay, and this is just review. Pi is often displayed as 3.14 or 22 divided by 7. And the way we get pi is to take the circumference and divide it by the diameter. C divided by D, and we will always get pi. A term that we won't spend too much time with is the sector of a circle. A sector is a fraction of the interior of a circle, and it has an arc connecting two radii. So two radii would be like spokes coming out from the center, and then the radii is that rounded piece of the pie. If you want to get a picture of what that is in your head, picture that circle and two spokes coming out of it, and where the two spokes are connected by the rounded edge of the circle. That's what a sector is.